Especially during the penitential season of Lent, we are encouraged to make a good confession. In the sacrament of confession, also known as penance and reconciliation, we are reconciled to God and the Church by the forgiveness of our sins. Our relationship with God, ourselves, and others, as well as our human dignity, are wounded when we sin. Through the ministry of the Church, Jesus, the divine physician and healer, in his loving mercy, removes our sins and grants us pardon and peace. In preparing to go to confession, we first examine our conscience for those sins that we may have committed, those things that we know are wrong, but freely choose to do them anyway. We can sin in our thoughts, in our words, in what we have done, and in what we have failed to do. We must confess our sins to the priest who represents Christ. We must have contrition or true sorrow for our sins. We must be determined to avoid sin in the future, turning away from evil and turning towards the Lord. The priest will grant us absolution using the power that Christ has entrusted to his Church. We must be willing to do that penance assigned to us by the priest and complete it to make amends for the sins that we have committed. When we receive the sacrament of penance and reconciliation, we receive the Lord's grace to help us avoid sin in the future. By turning away from sin and adhering more closely to Christ and his gospel, we grow stronger in our baptismal identity as sons and daughters of God our Father. So I encourage everyone to make a good confession this Lent and experience the mercy of our living God. Even if it's been a long time since you've been to confession, don't be afraid. The priest will help you. And know that anything you tell the priest in the context of confession is kept confidential. Confessions are heard here at the Basilica each weekday at 11:30 a.m., on Saturdays at 4:15 p.m., and on Sundays at 9 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Confessions are also heard every Sunday in Spanish at 12 o'clock in the chapel. God bless you.